start off with a song called Dance of the Fair Folk. It's about some, it's actually a memory I had of chasing fireflies in my grandparents' yard when I was a little kid. And I imagined little fanciful winged creatures. I think fairies in some traditions are not fanciful winged creatures at all. They're actually kind of terrifying, the things you're supposed to expect. They're probably not right to the songs. is never told. There's a whole class of jokes the lute players tell about how much time you spend tuning a lute if you're a lute player, and that's pretty much the entire punchline of every single one of the jokes is that you spend a lot of time tuning a lute. They're not very good jokes, and I don't recommend getting into lutes enough to care about those jokes. That level of eccentricity is hard to come back from. Too bad in the grand scheme of things. There have been times I've really struggled to get in tune, and it feels a little like walking into a room with no pants on or something. This is another improvised piece, and I recorded something in this tuning, which I think is a very dreamy sounding tuning. I recorded this right after David Lynch passed away, and I was a huge fan of David Lynch. And I named the piece I recorded in this tuning "A Dream Soul That Wanders," which is a line from Twin Peaks, of course. I think that's my favorite David Lynch work. There's some notion that there are different kind of spirits in a human. There's one that's a conscious spirit, and there's one that wanders off when we sleep and dream or have visions. And I just thought that was kind of interesting, so I named this song that. I'll see if I can convey something to that. one more piece here. It's kind of a short one. I've been hit in the face exactly one time while tuning a string, and it broke and hit me. So that's enough to make you very nervous every time you're trying to do that. This last one's called Cub Creek Blues Part 2.
Yeah.
And I had a Cub Creek Blues Part 1 and forgot how to play it. And I had to write Part 2. This is a song for my father, who passed away. He's been dead now for 13 years. It's kind of hard to believe. He was way too young when he died. He was 64. But Cub Creek runs back behind my house in Tennessee where I live. Oh, my name's Joseph Allred, by the way, and I'm from Tennessee. I don't think I ever said that. I'm sorry. I don't want to be presumptuous and just get up here. Oh, you all know who I am already. I'm sure you've done your research and you're deeply familiar. But Cub Creek runs back behind my house in Tennessee, and Cub Creek Blues is something my dad said I should call my guitar style. And that was when he was hospitalized the first time. He had lung cancer. And he was wondering whether he would get to see his home again, is what I now know was going on. He was kind of preparing to leave this world. And thankfully he did get out of the hospital that time. He wasn't sure whether he would, but he did, and he had a few more good months that I'm really grateful for. But today I got to do something that he wanted to do and never got a chance. I visited, my family was in Eccles, in the Eccles area in Manchester, up until the 17th century, and that's when we left. A couple of my ancestors were thrown in prison for attending Quaker meetings. A lot of Americans who ended up, or a lot of English Americans were Quakers or part of other religious groups. And I'm glad I got to do that. It's a really wonderful opportunity. It was interesting to walk around there. I don't know if you all frequently get wayward Americans wandering around trying to find themselves, but we're a very uprooted people, I can tell you that. But anyway, I'm going to play this last song, and then we can wander out into the night and do whatever we want to do, I guess. But thank you all for being here, and thank you to SUP and to Chaz for helping put this thing on. And thank you all for sitting here. And I should thank myself. That's what D.D. Ramone did when the Ramones were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. He had to thank himself. He was probably my favorite Ramone for that and many other reasons. Anyway, I will play this song and be done.